to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kira Show here. Now, whenever we last left off, Deku had just been shot, had a couple broken ribs, and escaped an explosion at the docks, along with him having a rifle and a grenade launcher added on to his gear, aside from his pistol. Now, a mysterious person has helped Deku. They actually did cover his, actual path of blood, and, hide it well. Even if people report the blood and anything about it, it is so far contaminated and, messed up that the samples aren't going to be viable and unusable. As we'll cut to Deku. He's waking up a bit, as he would do so feeling a sharp pain in his side. Now, with that, Deku would finally be awake, looking up at the roof. As he tries to move, he finds that he's been tied down. Well, this isn't good. His legs are tied down and his hands are handcuffed to a metal bed frame. He's seen where this has gone before, but he doesn't want to stick around. As he would begin to look around, immediately just seeing someone sitting in a chair. Him somewhat backing up, asking her what does she want. Well, is that what I get for a thank you? What do you mean? Well, I've been trying to get in your phone and, gotta say, quite the impressive encryption behind all this. It would take me months to get into it. Probably even a full year if I had my own attention to it. Sadly, I don't have that detail. That didn't answer my question. Well, my name's not important right now. But you just need to know. I gave you a hand. I somewhat hacked into, or possibly even piggybacked off of Fancy Man's signal. I've been trying to track him, but my tech is a bit laxed compared to yours, along with what I believe your quirk to be. Deku's eyes somewhat twitching. So, she knows about his quirk. That means she won't let him near tech. That's already a bad sign. Now, this is whenever the girl would walk over to a computer and immediately start typing things in, connecting Deku's phone to it. Her watching Deku, making sure to keep an eye on him. Deku just staring at his phone and trying to focus on it. God damn it. It's not working. So, he's still not there yet, but he'll get there one day. As he just waits patiently, until the figure just stands back up, and she just begins to say something. Hello, guys. As Deku someone just turns his head, staring at the screen, seeing multiple people in masks. Exactly who are they? What is going on? As they all somewhat begin to talk. Deku just watching this, and staring at this girl. She just puts on Deku's mask. Her someone just saying that, look at her, she's the architect. Blah 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 blah. Someone just going on a bit of a rant about this. As they ask her if she really did capture him. Or, subdue him. Her someone saying that yes, she did. In fact, as she would move the webcam, she gets it to where they can see a figure clearly lying on the bed, but at least not showing Deku's face. Some being irritated and actually mad about that. Her saying that she wants to talk to this guy first, so you'll be a bit more polite if I don't post him all over online. Besides, he'd just find a way to take everything down. He always does. As she would turn back to look at Deku. Deku just glaring at her. Her turning off the screen and walking over to him. As she would just sit down, saying that she held his injuries. But, well, give me that back. That mask. It's not yours. That's mine. Okay. As she takes it off. Saying that she's a fan, you know. I'm quite aware. I have a lot of fans. None of them ever crazy enough to chain me to a bed. So, you'll mind if I'm a bit more confused. Oh, don't worry about it. But yeah, I didn't want you to hurt yourself or, well, do anything stupid when you woke up. Clearly, I had the right idea. So, as Deku scans the room. It is a bit dark, but he can at least make out the door and, well, his clothes. Or at least his jacket and his shirt. Along with his sidearm, and his grenade launcher, and his new rifle. So, she clearly doesn't expect too much of him. If that's left in the room, then clearly she means business, too. Shit. As she would just ask Deku one simple question. Can I at least get your name? No. Can I get how old you are? No. Alright, can I at least get something? A favorite color, a favorite memory, a favorite thing? Not happening. Jesus. Well, can you at least tell me how you became you? Listen, I've seen everything that's happened. Those old videos, everything. Especially whenever you took down that video of yourself. That was still impressive. You want to be invisible. Why? Deku is somewhat turning to her, looking her in the eyes. She clearly wants this answer. So Deku at least wants to stall for time. If Fancy knows he's missing, then he'll try and track his phone. Meaning that he just needs to stall. But if she's trying to hack into it, that means if she eventually gets through with her miracle tech, as she called it, or even her redundant tech, that means she can get access to everything about him. He can't let that happen. As he would ask her to do one thing. Turn off the hack, and I'll explain everything. Her somewhat staring at Deku, saying she can at least put it as a second priority. She actually does want to turn on some of her gear and keep things a bit more hidden for us. Switching things over, she turns on her own dead zone, or well, things to keep herself quiet. Now, I forgot what it's called right now, but basically what's it called? Crap. Anyways, she basically kills all the tech in the area around her, outside of her room and outside of this building. So, this is new. Deku just somewhat staring at her. She's really giddy and she's really happy. Along with her blonde hair somewhat getting in her face. Her usually having to move it like she's not used to it. So, study these small things, Midoriya. Remember them. Alright. Well, if you want to know so much about me, I'll at least start with something. Whenever I was younger, I discovered my quirk. Deku continuing on, explaining that his dad's dead, his mom's dead, and, for all it's worth, He was dropped off at an orphanage one day. The tech being the only thing he has, that phone being everything he has left of his former life. So, you want to know who I am? I'm the architect. I was born the architect. I was not even given a proper childhood. I had that ripped away from me as fast as it came to me. It is annoying. Deku's somewhat balling his hands in a fist. Her watching this. Deku continuing on. He was at an orphanage one day, and people came to try and kill him. In fact, he's not sure what they were going to do. But whatever happened, this is whenever the mummy came. Her looking at him a bit confused. The mummy. That's a bit new. She's heard of him before. The guy in wraps and, well, looks like one of those old Egyptian figures, okay? What about him? He came to get me one day. He's the only reason I'm alive today. After everything Deku's someone looking away. Remembering it all. It's not good. Looking back at her, saying everything he's been through has been weird, or at least jumbled together. So let me start. Mommy wanted me to do weapons training and physical training. That's the best place to pick up on. So, Deku would start there. About 1 to 2 weeks after he delivered this letter to the mailbox. There we go. It is very late for me, guys, and I'm very tired. So if I'm missing a bit of words, just know that that's why. Now, Deku, he would continue, saying that he started doing a bit more of early workouts. Most of it consisted of running around that room and, well, doing a lot of push-ups. And somewhat getting used to holding a gun. The feeling of cold steel in your hands is a new one. Especially whenever you're not even 5 years old. The pea shooters, they feel small. Cold, calculating, and, well, easy. Except whenever your hands keep shaking, and you're too scared to pull the trigger. Shooting a can is easy, but shooting a person, that was different. Deku's somewhat recalling at least something that normal in his childhood. Saying that the mummy at least tried to make things normal as possible. He was homeschooled, though, at least if I can call it home. Deku going over this, saying that he was trained. Whenever he reached the point of 5 years old, he stopped weapon training and started physical training, along with going outside a bit more, along with wearing his gloves and his mask, a different one at the time, something easy. Eventually, things were different. Deku somewhat rubbing his fingers together, as he's just thinking more about this. He wants to continue. As he says that at the age of 5, he remembers being on a playground. Things were easy, simple. It was fun. He was there quite a few times. In fact, the mummy made time out of their schedule to make sure I could at least play. So, it's not all trauma. This was actually one of my good memories. I remember he put on makeup. It was new to see his actual face. People mistook him for my dad. My actual dad. Now, this would be where Deku explains the entire day. Going out to the playground, going out to movies, going out to everything. Everything in his life about at least being normal. saying that that was up until the age of 7. Things getting a bit more complicated. He started more and more physical training. Instead of it being until he was just bored or tired, well, he did it to actually physically push himself. Running around more. Mommy, he at least wanted me to run around with a piece on me. So, he tried teaching me a bit of parkour. That was a bit of a idea. It was fun. It was great. And, well, it was a learning experience. I learned part of the basics and, well, at least running along rooftops and rails. The wall running, though, it's a bit harder, more difficult. I actually do remember something a bit funny about that. First thing Mummy did was run across a rooftop and jump to a fire escape, grabbing onto the metal railing and flipping himself over, actually being able to start climbing. I tried doing the same. I grabbed the ladder, and it began to come down. I broke my leg that day. Didn't go to the hospital, but he at least knew a good doctor. The guy was nice too. It was fun. But as Deku-san gets annoyed, being interrupted by a ding on the computer, him somewhat just looking at it, as the girl would stand up and walk over, her slamming her hand on the desk, saying, "Shit. What is it?" Fuck. Should have known that wouldn't work. I ran your fingerprints. Or at least, what I thought was your fingerprints. Deku somewhat smirking, telling her that she wouldn't actually find anything, you know, right? Everything about me's been erased. Everything. Her getting annoyed, saying that no one leaves a paper trail this thorough, or even this clean. I swear. Next thing you're going to say is, you just came out of nowhere. You are the embodiment of everything wrong with this hero society. What about that? What are you going to say next? Can you tell me that? Deku's smirking, saying that she's actually not too far behind. Her walking over, actually holding up a bit of a blade, saying that she understands that. But she does at least want one thing. As she walks over to Deku, Deku's somewhat tensing up. As she climbs onto the bed and grabs Deku's handcuffs, beginning to actually undo them. Deku just watching this as he gets one hand free, and the other one free too. She would then cut the rope on his legs, and Deku being able to actually move a bit, somewhat going to stretch, trying to actually stand up. As soon as he goes to stand, she would have told him to stay down, otherwise he's going to reopen the wound. Listen, if that doctor's really as good as you say, you'll need to find him. But that's just it. You're in no condition to even leave this place. Cops are still looking for you. So, how long have I been out? About 2 days. Okay, good. That means he's still looking for me. Mummy? The guy you talked about? Yep. Means that he might be here soon. So if that door blows open, don't expect anything bad. Or, well, expect the worst, actually. Her somewhat staring at it for a second. Deku somewhat taking this as his chance. Him trying to run forward at the computer. Basically jumping up and over her. Running over and grabbing his phone, ripping it off his cord. As he immediately begins to interface with it. her getting up and actually grabbing him and pulling him back down to the ground, telling him to stop. Listen, I'm a fan, okay? If you just want something, tell me. Please, I'll get it for you. Just please stop. Just understand that some of us, we truly believe that you exist. You're not just some ghost. What you're doing is right, okay? Deku is somewhat turning back to look at her. Is she wearing makeup? Why is it smudged? Okay. Deku just standing up, and actually wincing in pain, asking for painkillers and water. Her walking into the next room as she opens the door, going to get those things. Deku is sitting down with his phone. He undoes the encryption as he calls Mummy. Mummy would immediately pick up, asking him where he is. Deku just saying that he doesn't know, but he's at least lucky that he's able to get this call out. Now listen, she's gonna be back any minute now, so try and find my location along with bringing the doctor. I have a bit of a problem. I think a few of my ribs are broken. One of them probably has a bullet hole in it, but I'm pretty sure I'm bleeding pretty bad. In fact, this girl, she also almost got dangerously close to revealing my face. I hate superfans. Well, kid, if you didn't have that one slip, then you wouldn't have had a superfan. Deku is somewhat just agreeing, hearing the door open, and immediately clicking ending the call, re-encrypting his phone. As he would just set it down to the bed, or sit it on the table next to his bed. Her someone just handing Deku some water and painkillers. Deku immediately drinking all this water, as he basically just throws the painkillers in his mouth last, saying thanks. Now let me continue. After my 7th birthday, we left the safe house. We actually went outside the city. It was pretty cool and pretty neat, actually. That was the first day I shot a rifle. The first one I ever got. Along with actually having to deal with a bit of another threat. That day I was kidnapped. It wasn't fun. Deku was someone just looking away, bringing his hand up to his face. You can clearly tell there's a bit of panic in what he's saying. Exactly what has happened to him? What has happened in his past? The girl, someone just looking at him, saying that she gets it. You don't like bringing up the past, and well, it's a bit difficult. But still, you're not the only one who's invisible. Deku trying to look at this girl. Her explaining that she's seen as invisible by quite a lot of people, just because her quirk's not that flashy. In fact, it's a bit different than you might think. Deku just kind of a bit annoyed, saying that a flashy quirk doesn't mean anything. It's how you use it. Besides, even if he was quirkless, he'd still probably be doing all this shit. But can you do me a favor and bring me that rifle? Her just somewhat looking away at Deku. Turning to the corner. The weapons. Of course. Her walking over to the gun. She begins to mess with it as she takes out the magazine, along with cocking the firing pin backwards and getting the bullet out of it. Handing the rifle over to Deku. Deku just staring at her as he looks down at the weapon. And begins to use his quirk. Her just watching him stare at it. Deku finding its model number. And its factory pin. Basically the factory that this gun was made at. Every single one of these guns have this type of coating on them. Or at least numbers marking them. So, this one's not too far away. Deku looking up, saying that he has a bit of an idea. Those were a friend of yours, right, on the computer? Yeah, they were. Good. Now, you said they all believe in me, correct? Yes, they do. Perfect. Get into contact with them. Tell them that you've been talking with me and I need a bit of a hand. In fact, this will be something everyone can take place in. I think it's finally time that people know I exist, along with the corporation. This weapon here is our little key to success. Deku is somewhat smiling and grinning. Her just watching Deku. Now, that is going to be where I leave this part off, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. And yes, I've been keeping it ambiguous as to who this character is. And well, shit happens. I'm very tired, and I don't want to go into any more advanced plot points because that starts happening. I start mixing up my words. Anyway, guys, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.